Installing the LP SmartSide vertical siding, the requirements are we start with a non-compressible, drainable house wrap. We want to ensure that our windows and doors are properly flashed into our weather-resistant barrier with our drip caps and our house wrap tapes. We've also started this project with our nail fin lineal trim. So we have our clip and fin trim system, which eliminates any of the face nails. We've also utilized our one-piece outside corners, again with nail fin, for no touch-up painting on the face of that trim. Now we're going to finish the siding. I'm going to show you a new way of installing the nail fin trim around our window. When we install our nail fin trim, what we've done is we've taken our pieces, we've pre-cut them, and we've joined them together with pocket screw joinery. This gives us a nice tight joint and allows for the trim to go up in one piece like a picture frame. So we begin that installation by putting shims 3/8 of an inch thick above our window to make sure that we keep our trim up off of our flashing 3/8 of an inch as required. So we've oversized our trim slightly to leave a gap between the window and the trim, which allows for our windows to expand and contract. We then begin by fastening through the nail fin, filling every third hole. This gap will later be filled with color match sealant. So we have to install a piece of 1-inch drip cap above our 5/4 by 4 trim around our window. We start by notching that so we can bend the end down to better shed water. So we've got our long 16-foot, 3/8 thick vertical panels from LP SmartSide. We're getting ready to install that. And you can see the advantages in this long new panel is that we can span these taller stretches without having to put a band board in. We've shown a band board in this application because, again, that panel will also come in 3/8, 4x8, 9s, and 10s. So if we want to put a band board, we can. If we choose not to, we do have the option to go with a vertical panel. We can install that on single stories through the gable ends, but we cannot span multi-stories. We have to break that at the floor line. So that's why we're also showing a band board. So when you are in a 2-story application, we can do a band board and split it that way. Next, we're going to be installing this. We want to make sure we leave a 3/16 gap between the panels. And then we're going to start our nailing process. We're going to nail every 6 inches on center. When we're installing the vertical siding, we want to make sure that we leave a 3/8 of an inch gap where the siding comes off the flashings. We're utilizing a scrap piece of the siding in order to get that gap. Then we continue our nailing. We want to make sure that when we cut our vertical siding that we paint every single one of our cut edges, just like any of the other LP SmartSide products. And again, leave our 3/8 of an inch gap above our flashings. You want to apply the sealant to the vertical siding before you put the batten strips on. Now we're going to show you a couple tips on how to apply the sealant between the trim and the window and filling the gap that we left to allow the window to expand, the gap that we had talked about earlier when we installed the nail fin trim. Next, using a razor blade, we're going to cut alongside the trim. And then along the window, or in the accessory groove in the case of a vinyl window. The next step in the process, now that we have the window masked with our gap being left cut out, we're going to apply the bead of sealant to that gap and fill it completely full. Now that we have the sealant applied, we're going to tool it slightly just to give it a smooth finish. We've left our 3/8 gap off of our flashing, which we've left uncaulked to allow moisture that would get behind the siding that would be trapped to give it a place to drain out. Lastly, we just remove our masking tape and we're left with a nice looking bead of sealant. The last step is to install the 19/32 by 2.5 inch batten strips. We want to make sure that we paint all of our cut edges before we install the strips. So the proper nailing pattern on the 19/32 batten strips is 2 nails on the bottom, and then we're going to alternate edges every 12 inches on center as we go up the trim, and then again 2 nails on the top of the trim. We want to finish our face nails on our batten strips and the exposed fasteners on our panel with the touch-up paint. So you can see how we've incorporated the vertical LP SmartSide 16 inch by 16 foot vertical siding with all of our nail fin accessories. So we've got our nice tight trim joints on our window trims. We have everything properly flashed and properly caulked. We've utilized our pre-bent, pre-colored 1-inch strip cap, making it fast and easy because it's ready to go when it gets to the job site. Most importantly, our batten strips are below the face of our 5/4 trim, both above the window as well as below the window. Continuing on, we can see our batten strips, whether we're using the tall vertical panels or the 4x8, 9s, and 10-foot panels, those batten strips sit below the 5/4 band boards. The band board also ties nicely into our one-piece outside corner post with nail fin. So again, everything flushes out. We have a nice system. You now should have a better understanding of how the new 3/8 panels and vertical siding from LP SmartSide and Diamond Kote building products can easily give your home a great board and batten look. For even more information and detailed drawings, check out our written application guide. Also, connect with us online if you have further questions or to view our product and color visualizer. Thank you for watching.